I'm Chris Tierney.
I'm Veronica Tierney, and I have 2 daughters, 2 dogs, a cat, and 2 horses, and that's a lot of what I do here in our new home.
Should I expand on?
No,
Okay, good.
Throw that out there. Chris is more conservative and reserved and even keel.
On the flip side, she can see that I'm sort of stuck on something that doesn't make any sense and turn me around. So
We started looking for a house about 6 years ago, wanting to move from Reston. Took a fair bit of time to find the right place.
we had been looking for quite a while, and I think Veronica was growing weary of near misses. Yeah, I mean, you can't overstate, I don't think, how much searching you did. I probably went to 10%, well, not even, of the open houses. I mean, it was Veronica.
We did look, and I looked at everything. And we knew we wanted to be in Great Falls, so we looked at everything that was on the market all the time. I knew every house that was for sale. And then, like Chris had mentioned, we had a couple of houses that we had put offers on, but didn't come through. And something was telling me, no, you don't need to raise your offer. Just if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I guess that was meant to be, because then we found this one. It was a nice house. It was a beautiful house for that style, but you could tell that it was very dated.
It was in serious need of maintenance. So my biggest fear was we were going to try to salvage things that ought not be salvaged. I was quite concerned.
I had this idea of what I was looking for. Prior to moving, I watched a ton of HGTV, got all kinds of ideas. And so I had my ideas, and I had my books, and, that were dog-eared and all this. And then I had spoken to one other builder before, a very popular, well-known builder in the area, does a lot of these big homes. He said, we don't do anything under so much money. And I was like, well, I think we're gonna go over that. And he's like, well, okay. And it was just kind of really businessy, it was just a different feel I got when I spoke with Francisca. I had found Francisca because I saw photos of her work and wanting to move from a more traditional colonial to something more contemporary, bright and airy. So I reached out to her, talked to someone in her office, and explained what I was interested in. And he basically said, oh, well, that's kind of like what we like to do. I said, oh, great. And that's how it started.
They liked working with a relatively small group of customers. So it wasn't a situation where you were going to be fighting to get their time and attention if you had questions. They were going to sort of hold your hand through the whole process. And then when we got started, that's exactly how it went. We really came at it differently, I think, because I did not watch much HGTV unless I was forced to, because I was in the same room. She did a good job figuring out each of our respective personalities, and when we weren't necessarily on the same page, sort of helped us reconcile.
Yeah, it's a business relationship, but it's so much more personable with them.
They knew you were not going to have regrets, and they knew it was going to be a long-term relationship. I mean, they basically said, any issues you have at any time in your life after the house is built, we're partners with you. That's
important that you find someone who is like that, because will spend a lot of time, and they are people you enjoy spending time with. It was just the personality. I mean, it was just warm and bubbly, and just you just feel more comfortable. And that they are the architect and also the project managers and the builders. That was a huge thing, that you're just not going someplace for some drawings and then going someplace else to find your own builder. Here it's all in one place. That's just reassuring, and it just saves you a lot of time and energy.
It's a pretty incredible accomplishment, I think, to have taken the existing house. I know they talk about it as being designed and built from the inside out, and I think that's exactly right. I mean, it's unrecognizable. She rode up the driveway and just said, hi, I used to live here before. I'm the former owner. And I of course knew her name because from buying the house. She and her husband were both doctors, and her husband passed a while ago. And so when her kids got a little older, there was more house than she wanted. And she was here 25 years, and her girls grew up in this house. And she said, I just, I was in the neighborhood and I wanted to see what was going on. And I said, come on in. And she was, it blew her mind. And she walked through the whole house, FaceTiming so she could show her daughters. She was just delighted.
Yeah.
So it was good. I was happy that she wasn't disappointed that we had changed her design
So much.
It was just the opposite. So,
yeah. It was such a good feeling. And it was our youngest daughter. I remember, I think it was the day after we moved in. She was coming down the stairs. She's like, Mom, I know this is all so big and new, but it really feels like home. And I was like, oh, wow, that's so nice. So I think they really like it here.